This is Denise at the Grandview Heights Public Library. Today's book talk is intended for babies through children in 3rd grade. This is something different for me. I'm very excited about having this opportunity. Normally, I'm in the administration department, so I don't get to interact that often with folks. So please bear along with me. I have chosen materials and authors and illustrators that appealed to my children. They're a little bit older now, but my children love things with humor and bright colors and bright illustrations. So hopefully you'll find something that appeals to you or for your children. First off, I have some board books. My favorite board book is No David, written and illustrated by David Shannon. He's a talented illustrator. It might not seem it this way. He has illustrated this particular series, and there are 3, I think, in this series, for children as if he were a child himself when he illustrated it. And it teaches about manners, which is it was a sticking point when my children were small. So about settling down, don't jump on the bed, don't pick your nose, things like that. So it teaches good manners and in a way that is entertaining for small people. But this book comes in either board book style, or it also comes in picture book style. And like I said, it is one of a series. So here is No David. Here's David Gets in Trouble, shocker, and David Goes to School. So David Shannon was very popular, and we like that very much, that you learn about manners and behavior and in a way that's fun. My second board book I've chosen is The Napping House, written by Audrey Wood, illustrated by Don Wood. Again, it is a book that comes in both board book format and picture book format, so depending on what age group of child that you want to work with. This one has pull tabs on it, which might not be appropriate for babies, but better for toddlers. It's more interactive. But this one is appropriate for our babies, and it's about quiet time and what happens when you're taking a nap, and it builds on it, and it's interactive, and they learn all about the grandma and the child and the mouse and the dog and the cat and the flea that bit the cat. And it continues. It's a building book, but the illustrations are absolutely lovely. So hope maybe you'll try this one out. So that's The Napping House. Next, I have my last board book is called Snoozers by Sandra Boynton. This is 7 different quick stories. It's wonderful for right before bed. And the last one is a song. It's a lullaby. And Sandra Boynton, as always, has very fun illustrations. All of her animals come in different shapes and sizes and colors. They're all happy, but all of these are a good lead up for bedtime. So maybe that one might be what fits for you. Next, I have yet another book by David Shannon. It is called A Bad Case of Stripes. And this is a very different illustration style than his first book that I showed you, the No David. This one, I'm going to show you a couple of pages from it. It's about a little girl who wants to be, she loves lima beans, and she's afraid to tell anybody because she doesn't want people to laugh at her or to make fun of her. And it's about being true to yourself. And she goes to school, and she can't tell people what she wants, and they make fun of her because she turns into stars and stripes. She turns into checkerboards, and she's afraid to say what she thinks and to be herself. As the book goes on, they poke and they prod at her, and the true fact of the matter is she just wants to eat lima beans. And once she eats the lima beans and is true to herself, she ends up happily ever after. So again, very bright, very colorful. This book is appropriate for probably up to 1st grade or so, 2nd grade. Depends on what kind of reader they are. If you're reading it to them, definitely 1st grade, kindergarten. If they're reading it themselves, even 2nd graders. So next I have for you Take Me Out of the Bathtub. This is by Alan Katz, and it is illustrated by David Catro, who is one of my very favoriteest illustrators. So this book is a nonfiction book, actually, and it's wonderful for children all the way up to 3rd grade. If they're reading themselves, they can do that with a little bit of help. And if you're reading to your children, this is a singing book. So they've taken songs that you might know, like You Are My Sunshine, or Take Me Out to the Ballpark, or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and they've written silly songs that go with it. And this is, I think there are 4 different versions of this book, written by Alan Katz, illustrated by David Catro. One of our favorite ones is this one, Take Me Out of the Bathtub. As you can see, it's very funny. And it is the words to the song, To Take Me Out of the Ball Game. There's one in here about, I've been cleaning up my bedroom. This was a very favorite one for us when we were cleaning our bedrooms, cleaning our house. It is to the tune of I've Been Working on the Railroad. So some songs are easier to remember than others, but they're all catchy, all very fun, and they make cleanup time, bedtime, doing chores maybe that you don't want to do, fun time. So that is a David Catro. This book is a picture book called The Day the Crayons Quit. It is by Drew Daywalt, and it's illustrated by Oliver Jeffers. And it is also a series. There are, I think, 3 of them now, and it's about crayons and colors, so you learn your colors while you're doing it. I love this one because the illustrations are wonderful. It's mixed media, so there's photography, and there's drawings, and there's illustrations that might be done by a child, which I love. Anyway, all of the crayons are upset for one reason or another, and they have written their owner, and his name is Duncan, a letter. Each one has written a letter about something that bothers them. Here's the purple crayon's letter. Talks to them. The blue crayon says that he is tired because he colors in all the oceans. The yellow and orange crayon are arguing because they both want to be the sun color. This one's my favorite. This is the green crayon, and he's a happy crayon, and he says, please, 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 Duncan, can you make up the decision which color is the sun? Please help them out. And then the last picture that I really, really love is this one, where he's using all of the colors, and they're all going to live in harmony, and he gets an A for coloring from his teacher, and all the crayons learn to live in the box happily. So there are 2 other ones in that series if you like that one. Then I have, this one is a easy reader. It's appropriate for reading for all ages if you're reading to them, and it's to help your child deal with emotions, all different kinds of emotions. If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're feeling low, if you're just feeling antsy. It's by Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's illustrated by Laura Cornell, and it's in poetry, which is also nice. It teaches rhyming. Can you see that right there? There we go. Today I feel silly. And the illustrations are lovely. And this one is my favorite page, where it's all red and dark. And it says, today I'm angry, you'd better stay clear. My face is all pinched and red ear to ear. My friends had a play date, they left me out. My feelings are hurt. I want to shout. So it addresses all kinds of things. It helps children deal with those emotions that come with things that make them happy or maybe not so happy. And at the end, it has a wheel where you can see all the different emotions. You can make the happy face, the sad face, the I'm excited face, the I'm scared face. It's all about different emotions. So if a child is reading by themselves, it would be acceptable or be appropriate for a first grader or second grader. If you're reading with them, they will need a little bit of help. The third grader can definitely read this picture book. So we've got another easy to read, and this is one of our favorite illustrators. Again, this is illustrated by David Catro. This is called Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon. Molly is a little girl who's small of stature, big of heart. And this book teaches Molly about how you might be small, you might be a small package, but you can do big things. And that you should stand up for others, that you should stand up for yourself, that you have wonderful gifts. No matter what your size, your stature, your color, your race, your creed is, it doesn't matter. And that was one of the things that I loved about this book. She's new. She moves. She meets new friends. So this one is Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon. There's 3 in this series. My favorite one is the Speak Up, Molly Lou Mellon, which is a brand new one by Patty Lovell. She's the author, and David Catro, he is the illustrator. This one, Molly Lou is standing up for her friends. Here, friends of all shapes and sizes and opinions. And her mom always tells her, accept people for who they are and listen to their ideas, even if they are different from yours. Her mother tells her, you have a strong voice. Use it to speak up for anyone who might need your help. And she goes on to meet a classmate who is not quite so nice in her classroom. She stands up for her friends. But the illustrations are lovely. Here's Molly Lou's Wild Wanda hair. So she addresses everything, and she's the best person that she can possibly be, which is why we love this book so very much. And it says that you can accomplish, anything can be accomplished if you are the best person you can be and make the most of all your gifts, which is Molly Lou. Again, David Catro. He's a very favorite illustrator. Just a little small fact, he lives in Ohio, David Catro, and he used to be the political cartoonist for the Springfield News Sun. So, very fun. Let me see. Then we have this one. This is called The Paper Bag Princess, and it is written by Robert Munch. It's illustrated by Marko Marchenko. Basically, it is a story about a little girl who can be anything she wants because she is smart, and she uses her brains to get out of a tight situation. I will say that this particular book made us laugh a lot. It's about a little girl whose dragon attacks her castle, and it burns it all down. All she is left with is her paper bag for clothes. She has no clothes, no home, and the dragon dragged off the prince that she knew. So she goes to rescue him because she can. Illustrations are wonderful. She outsmarts the dragon. This is her prince. It's Prince Ronald. Can you see him? There he is. And she outsmarts the dragon, who can breathe fire. And he's quick and he can fly, and she exhausts him so that she can rescue Prince Ronald. I do believe, there she is. Again, she rescues Prince Ronald because she has outsmarted the dragon. Paperback Princess by Robert Munch. This book actually comes in a treasury, and there are 4 of them. They're called Munchworks, and there's volumes 1 through 4. They have all kinds of entertaining stories inside them. One is about the snowsuit. This one here is the snowsuit, where the child just really does not want to put on his snowsuit, even though it's important. And he gets his teacher to wear his snowsuit. He gets the principal to wear his snowsuit. By the time they finally get him in his snowsuit, he has to go to the bathroom and they have to start over again. So it teaches about life, uses humor to do it in all of their books. Here's another one. This is the Munchworks number 3. Which has all different kinds of stories in it. They're wonderful collections. They are appropriate for children up through 3rd grade. 3rd graders can read them. Kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade will need some help. The pictures are wonderful. Then I have this one, a very big hit at our house. This is called Edward Fuddwupper Fibfig. It's written and illustrated by Berkeley Breed, who also writes the Opus Bloom County comic strips. It is written in rhyme. It's poetry, and it teaches about why you shouldn't fib or lie or tell big, giant, tall tales. And it is about a little boy and his sister and his relationship with her. And he tells a big, huge, giant fib about when he was playing ball in the house. He broke his mother's ceramic pig, but he tells his mother it was actually pigs from space came and tried to kiss the ceramic pig and knocked it over. And as a result, they call out the Army and the Air Force and the Marines, and a monster from outer space comes and talks to Edward about why he's fibbing, because this is not really what happened, and he should own up and tell the truth of what really happened. And here is his sister Fanny, who stands up for him. And the monster from space tells Edward he's so lucky to have a sister like Fanny. And they're off. There they are. He has to sit in the corner, and Fanny is kind enough to sit with him. So he learns from his lesson. Everybody learns from the lesson, and it is lovely. So this is definitely a read-along with your children. It is a picture book. It is appropriate for all ages, all the way through 3rd grade. And it is a lovely lesson. Well learned. Okay, and then my last one that I have is another favorite, John Cizeska. This is a nonfiction book. It is illustrated by Lane Smith. It is called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. And it is John Cizeska's slightly twisted version of current fairy tales. So instead of the gingerbread man, we have the Stinky Cheese Man. And it made my children laugh so very hard. So it has in it Chicken Little, but his name is Chicken Linger. and it is silliness, just total silliness. It brought laughter and smiles everywhere we went. So it is. This is the title page. It's a whole other story about why it's not a title page and why Chicken Little and the little red hen are getting into trouble. It has a whole story about the 3 little pigs, and what really happened to them was that the wolf didn't mean to eat them or blow down their house. He just really wanted to borrow a cup of sugar so he could make a cake for his grandmother. So it's a little bit different take on regular fairy tales that your children might already know. Here is the Stinky Cheese Man. And the reason that we love it so very much was because there was a little old woman and a little old man who lived together in their house, and they were lonely. So the little old lady decided to make a man out of stinky cheese. And she gave him a piece of bacon for a mouth and 2 olives for his eyes and put him in the oven to cook. When she opened the oven to see if he was done, the smell knocked her back. She's like, "Whoo! What is that stinky smell? What is that horrible smell?" And the Stinky Cheese Man hopped out of the oven, and he ran out the door calling, "Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man." The little old lady and the little old man sniffed the air. "I'm really not very hungry," said the little old man. "I'm not really all that lonely," said the little old lady. So they didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man. And the Stinky Cheese Man ran around until he met a cow eating grass in a field. And it continues. So it is just a slightly twisted tale of the Gingerbread Man. So if you like fairy tales, your young people like fairy tales, they might enjoy a little bit different telling of the Stinky Cheese Man. So those are my book recommendations. Like I said, they're slightly off, maybe not the newest. They all have great humor. They all have wonderful illustrations. They're all fairly interactive with your children. They're great read-alouds. They're great read-alongs. And they're wonderful if the child is just reading in 2nd, 3rd grade and they're new to reading. It's a good way to keep them interested, keep them entertained, and hopefully they'll enjoy as much as my children did. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope you'll have a chance to read some of these with your children. Thank you.